If you think you already know Disney World, think again. There are hidden rules, eerie legends, and design tricks here that most guests never discover, and a few that Disney definitely wishes you wouldn't talk about. I've spent years wandering the parks, chatting with cast members, and digging through archives, and I've pulled together some incredible stories you won't find in most guidebooks. Let's dive straight into our countdown of 21 incredible facts about Disney World that you didn't know. Each fact gets us closer to the biggest reveals, and by the end, you'll see Disney World in a whole new light. Stay with me, because once you hear these, you'll never see Main Street, the castle, or Pirates of the Caribbean the same way again. Number 1. Real skeletons once decorated Pirates of the Caribbean. Here's a spooky start. When Pirates of the Caribbean debuted, the technology for realistic skeletons simply didn't exist. Imagineers wanted authenticity, so they sourced real human bones from medical schools and used them in the ride. Why? The plastic skeletons available at the time looked laughably fake. As technology advanced, those real remains were swapped out for convincing replicas. But park lore insists at least one genuine skull still watches over the treasure room. Next time you sail through the eerie cavern, look up at the skull on the headboard in the captain's cabin. It might just be the real deal. It's a macabre piece of Disney history that adds a thrilling edge to the cheerful ride. Number 2. Disney World is as big as San Francisco. Walt Disney World sprawls across 27,258 acres, roughly 43 square miles. That's about the size of San Francisco. You could fit Manhattan and Disneyland inside it and still have room to spare. This scale explains why catching a bus from Animal Kingdom to Magic Kingdom feels like a mini road trip. It also means Disney has space for 4 theme parks, 2 water parks, over 24 hotels, golf courses, nature trails, and even a wildlife preserve. When you're exploring, remember there's a whole world beyond the castle and mountains, and that scale allows Disney to hide some remarkable secrets in plain sight. Number 3. Trash travels faster than some coasters. Have you ever wondered how the park stays so clean despite tens of thousands of visitors? Beneath Magic Kingdom lies a network of tunnels called utilidors, and within those tunnels is an automated vacuum-assisted collection system. This system sucks trash through tubes at about 60 miles per hour. Cast members drop trash into hidden chutes scattered around the park, and it disappears into the underground maze, racing away to a central compactor. That's why you never see garbage trucks driving down Main Street, USA. It's discreetly carted away and literally vanishes before your feet. It's a hidden marvel of engineering that keeps the magic seamless. Number 4. Cinderella Castle isn't as tall as you think. The castle that anchors Magic Kingdom looks like it could rival any skyscraper, but it's only 189 feet tall, just shy of the 200-foot mark that would require a blinking aircraft warning light. Walt Disney didn't want aviation lights ruining anyone's fairy tale photos. To make the castle feel monumental, Imagineers used forced perspective. The ground level is built at full scale, while each upper level shrinks slightly. Your eyes are tricked into thinking you're gazing at a towering fortress, when in reality, it's just under the FAA's radar. Even the spires taper at different rates to enhance the illusion. Next time you spot the castle, note how the windows appear smaller as they rise. That's forced perspective at work. Number 5. Main Street plays tricks with scale and distance. Forced perspective isn't limited to the castle. Stroll down Main Street, USA, and you'll notice that the upper floors of each building are narrower than the ground floors. This design makes the street seem longer and the buildings seem taller, giving you that sweeping small-town feel straight out of the early 1900s. The effect is subtle, so your brain assumes everything is normal. The genius doesn't stop there. Imagineers avoided long, straight paths. Instead, they designed winding routes and layered sightlines. You're constantly turning corners, passing under archways, and catching glimpses of the castle framed by lampposts and trees. This slow reveal keeps you curious and prevents fatigue. It's like reading a good book. Each chapter ends with a twist that makes you want to keep going. Number 6. Epcot was almost a real city. Epcot isn't just an acronym for a theme park. It stands for Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. Walt envisioned a utopian city where 20,000 residents would live, work, and test new technologies. He imagined a radial city with high-speed people movers, an airport, and climate-controlled environments. Walt announced the project in a 1966 film, but after his death, the company shifted gears. Building and governing an actual city proved too complex, so Epcot became a park celebrating innovation and global culture. Yet, the spirit of the original idea lives on in attractions like Spaceship Earth and exhibits like Innoventions. So when you wander through World Showcase or marvel at futuristic rides, remember, you're walking through what could have been a real living laboratory. Number 7. The Florida land was purchased in secret. To build his Florida dream, Walt needed to acquire vast swaths of land. But if the public realized Disney was buying it, prices would skyrocket. To keep costs down, he created fake companies, used code names, and sent associates to quietly purchase swampy acres. Corporations like MT Lot Real Estate and Reedy Creek Ranch bought plots at bargain prices from unsuspecting farmers and landowners. By the time word got out, Disney had already assembled thousands of acres. Local newspapers speculated about rocket research centers or government projects before Disney finally announced his plans. This covert operation remains one of the shrewdest real estate maneuvers in entertainment history. As we continue exploring the secrets of Disney World, remember that each nugget of trivia reveals a deliberate design choice. Imagineers and cast members think about every detail, how you move through space, what you see, what you hear, and even what you smell, to craft a seamless experience. Understanding those choices gives you a deeper appreciation for the magic. Number 8. Donald Duck isn't allowed to talk. If you've ever wondered why Mickey, Minnie, and Donald simply wave and pantomime when you meet them, it isn't because performers are shy, it's policy. Disney distinguishes between fur characters and face characters. Fur characters, anyone in a full-body costume with a large head, must remain silent, while face characters may speak. The rule holds even during emergencies, so Donald will mime directions rather than shout. By staying silent, the characters' voices stay consistent and your suspension of disbelief remains intact. To make up for their silence, performers master exaggerated gestures and expressive movements, conveying personality through hugs, head tilts, and comically flustered flapping. Number 9. Alligators call Disney home. Beneath the pixie dust and parades, Walt Disney World is still built on Florida swampland. Native wildlife never truly left, and alligators sometimes wander into the resort's waterways. In a widely reported 2025 incident, guests saw a gator swimming near a resort during a fireworks show. Disney closed the area and called in specialists. The company keeps a team that monitors waterways, removes any gators over 4 feet, and relocates them. Signs warn guests not to approach wildlife, and cast members report sightings. These occasional encounters remind us that despite the manicured gardens, the resort is still part of the natural world. Keep a safe distance when you see them. Admire these modern-day dinosaurs from afar. Number 10. The Haunted Mansion really has 999 happy haunts. When the ghost host welcomes you to the Haunted Mansion, he proudly announces 999 happy haunts, with room for one more. Imagineers weren't joking. There are officially 999 ghostly residents. You meet some, like the hitchhiking ghosts, who try to follow you home, or the singing busts. Others lurk in portraits and mirrors. Characters like Constance, the murderous bride, and the recently returned Hatbox Ghost have fueled fan theories for decades. The number 999 sparks playful speculation about becoming the 1000th haunt. These layered stories make the mansion feel like a living tale. Creaking floors and whispering portraits add to the ride's spooky feel. Number 11. Ashes have been scattered in the Haunted Mansion. The mansion's eerie vibe has inspired some guests to try to make Disney their final resting place. Cast members have discovered human ashes secretly scattered on attractions, particularly inside the Haunted Mansion. When custodians notice unusual gray powder or receive a tip, the ride closes for cleanup. Disney discourages this because ashes are biohazardous and must be handled properly. Still, the myth adds an extra chill to your doom buggy ride. Those phantom hands might belong to someone whose family wanted them to live at Disney forever. Number 12. No one is pronounced dead on Disney property. Here's a morbid but fascinating policy. If a guest suffers a fatal medical emergency at Disney, the official declaration of death happens off-site. Former cast members say Disney continues resuscitation until the person is transported to a hospital. On-site medical teams respond quickly with defibrillators and trained personnel. This approach doesn't lessen the tragedy of losing someone, but it shows how far the company goes to maintain its joyful atmosphere while caring for guests. Number 13. Disney manipulates your sense of smell. Walk down Main Street and you might swear you smell vanilla and freshly baked cookies. Disney hides scent machines to pump those fragrances of baked goods and popcorn. Smellitizers trigger nostalgia and appetite because scent is closely tied to memory. On Soarin', you smell oranges and salt when soaring over California and the ocean. Other rides and even resorts feature signature aromas, inspiring a cottage industry of Disney-scented candles. Pay attention to these scents. They're an intentional layer of the magic. So if you suddenly crave a churro you didn't plan on buying, blame the smellitizers. Number 14. The iconic water smell in Pirates is bromine, not perfume. Fans rave about the distinct smell in Pirates of the Caribbean and other water rides, assuming it's a secret perfume. In reality, the aroma comes from bromine, the chemical used to treat and sanitize the water. Bromine has a softer, earthier scent than chlorine, which is why the water in Pirates, Jungle Cruise, and It's a Small World has that musty smell. Because the smell is so tied to the ride, fans try to recreate it at home, but nothing ever matches the real thing. Take a deep breath next time you float past Dead Man's Cove. A simple disinfectant became an iconic part of Disney lore. We've covered silent ducks, real skeletons, and the science of smell. But we're not just talking about trivia anymore. We're about to cross into the twilight zone of Disney design. If you think you know how this place works, the next few facts are going to prove you wrong. From secret governments to the psychological tricks that control where you walk, the rabbit hole goes much deeper than you think. Are you ready to see how the magic is really made? Number 15. You rarely walk in a straight line at Disney. If you've ever thought, why does it feel like I've been strolling forever? You're not imagining things. Disney's designers deliberately avoid long straight paths. The parks are built with curved walkways and layered sightlines, so you can't see too far ahead at once. By constantly turning corners and weaving through arches and courtyards, guests are surprised by new views at every turn. The goal is to create a sense of exploration. You're not just moving from point A to point B, you're on a journey, discovering details as they reveal themselves. This design also hides crowds. Curved paths prevent you from seeing the throngs ahead, making the park feel less congested and more intimate. So the next time you feel like you're meandering, thank the Imagineers. Your wanderings are part of the story. Number 16. Strategic landscaping and visual anchors guide your journey. Those lush trees and flowers aren't placed at random. Disney's horticulture and design teams use landscaping to control how you perceive space. Taller trees are positioned close to walkways, while shorter plants recede into the distance. This layering creates depth that makes paths seem longer than they are. Ever notice how certain landmarks draw you forward? Disney places visual weenies like Cinderella Castle, Spaceship Earth, or Expedition Everest to act as magnets. These striking icons anchor each land, beckoning you down the path. Even if you don't realize it, your eyes lock onto these structures, and you find yourself moving toward them. Combined with the curved paths, the layering of trees, and strategic placement of weenies turns a simple stroll into an orchestrated experience. It's psychological choreography at its finest. Number 17. Disney tracks guest movement to manage crowds. Now, before your inner privacy alarm goes off, let's clarify. Disney isn't following your every footstep like a spy movie, but Magic Bands and the My Disney Experience app log where and when you interact with the resort, such as scanning your ticket, tapping into a ride's lightning lane, or linking a photo pass. These devices aren't GPS beacons, they don't constantly track your location. Instead, they create checkpoints when you use them, and those data points help Disney see how crowds flow through the parks. When you opt into location services in the app, Disney can sense your position broadly and use the information to suggest less crowded attractions. The data is anonymized and used to adjust ride operations, staffing, and wait times. If you're not comfortable with that, you can turn off location features, and there's nothing Disney can track. It's not Big Brother, it's Big Mouse, trying to make sure you spend less time in lines and more time enjoying the park. Number 18. There really is a Disney jail. The legend of Disney jail conjures images of pirates' dungeons or Wild West lockups, but the reality is more mundane. According to a 2023 article from allears.net, Disney jail is just a holding room with a few chairs inside the security office of each park. Yeah. Guests don't stay overnight. They're held briefly until Disney security contacts the authorities, calls parents for minors, or processes paperwork. Offenses that might land you there include underage drinking, shoplifting, fighting, trespassing, or using fake tickets. The goal is to remove disruptive guests discreetly, ensuring everyone else's experience remains magical. So, yes, there's a jail, but it's more like a timeout room than a dungeon. If you follow the rules, you'll never know it even exists. Except, now you do. Number 19. For decades, Disney operated like its own government. Walt Disney World isn't just a resort. It's the hub of a special taxing district created in 1967 called the Reedy Creek Improvement District. This independent government entity was established to provide municipal services like water, electricity, sewage, roads, and so on Disney property. It grants Disney authority similar to a county government, allowing the company to finance and build infrastructure without relying on local taxes. A 1995 American Prospect article notes that Reedy Creek could regulate land use, provide police and fire services, license the sale of alcohol, build roads, lay sewer lines, construct waste treatment plants, even build an airport or nuclear plant, all without local or state approval. The district's governance meant Disney could design and develop its kingdom at lightning speed, and in return, the company footed the bill. While political changes have altered Reedy Creek's structure and name, its legacy explains why Disney World feels so self-contained. It literally was its own government. Number 20. Disney's gardens are constantly rotating. Ever wonder why the flower beds always look perfect? Disney employs an army of horticulturists who plan, plant, and replace flowers with military precision. According to Horticulture Resources, flower beds are changed overnight 4 times a year, sometimes more, so guests never see wilted blooms. The resort grows 3.5 million annual flowers, herbs, and vegetables each year in its on-site nursery. Topiaries for festivals take months of planning and thousands of plant plugs. If a plant looks even slightly off, it's removed and replaced. This tireless rotation means you're always surrounded by vibrant color, whether you visit in spring, fall, or any time in between. It's one more layer of magic that happens while you sleep. Number 21. A secret suite hides inside Cinderella Castle. High above the bustle of Main Street, tucked within the iconic castle, lies the most exclusive room in the Magic Kingdom. Originally, this space was meant to be Walt Disney's personal apartment when he and his family visited. After Walt's death, the unfinished area was used for storage and as a phone operator's office for decades. Today, it's been transformed into a lavish 650-square-foot suite inspired by a 17th century French chateau, complete with coffered ceilings, stained glass windows, and 24-karat accents. To enter, guests pass a grandfather clock frozen at 11:59 p.m., a nod to the moment before Cinderella's spell breaks. The suite includes a salon, bedchamber, and spa-like bathroom, but there's one catch. You can't book it. The only way to stay is by winning a sweepstakes or receiving a special invitation. Celebrities like Tom Cruise and Mariah Carey have stayed there, and rumors say Disney once declined a $40,000 bribe for a night in the suite. Knowing this hidden apartment exists adds an extra layer of wonder to the castle towering overhead. We explored a mini-government running behind the scenes, horticultural wizardry that swaps millions of flowers overnight, and the royal suite that even money can't buy. All of these elements weave together to create the seamless experience you know and love. I'd love to know, which of these facts blew your mind? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found value in this journey, please like this video, share it with your fellow Disney fanatics, and subscribe to the channel. We dive into the stories and secrets that make Disney theme parks and travel destinations so enchanting. Ready for more hidden history and insider tips? Click on the next video that just appeared on your screen. Trust me, your adventure is just beginning.